channel does not promote or promotion any illegal activities. All content provided by this channel is meant only for educational purpose only.
It's all unraveling.
Shalom, shalom. We would like to welcome you to the Truth Be Told Flex podcast, where I am your host, Sha'ir Yeshub Judah, sitting alongside of Oxafaya Sheoku. We're going to do it like we always do on every day that the Greeks call Thursday. We're going to have ourselves a great show. And if you have not done it yet, I ask that you would take time out and subscribe to the show and also hit that like button. With that being said, let's prepare ourselves to be edified.
Check the me's, man, they about to get their blast on. Prophecy, interpretation, Isaiah 55.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. I am Sha'ir Yeshub Judah. We have Ayo Ben Yehu here with us, and we would like to welcome you to the Truth Be Told Flex podcast, like we do it on every day that the Greeks call Thursday. And here we got a great show lined up. It's been a pretty good week. I can't complain.
Yeah.
At all. Our brother Oxafaya just entered the building.
Yeah. There you go.
Yo,
building.
it's all good.
I had to finish up on some notes and stuff, and I'm working with one hand, so
What?
yeah,
Man.
little horse. So yeah, deal with me tonight, y'all. Deal with me.
You good. We back home though.
Yeah, we back at the house. We are back at the house. Let's see how long this lasts. We might need to buy more real estate.
I'm telling you, boy. Start investing in some other channels.
Yes, exactly. 'Cause,
Somebody over with the headset on the other side. We done triggered.
man, look here, brother. And then tonight we're storming here in Houston.
Yeah.
It's coming down pretty bad.
Yeah.
You know, since the time I've been home preparing for the show, I done had a power outage. I done had the internet drop. And just a while ago, you experienced it. We were sitting here getting ready for the show.
Yeah.
Everything just went black.
Yeah.
You know,
on my side, you froze up and then you was just gone.
Yeah, just gone. That's how it was. I mean, everything. I lost all 3 screens. Everything just powered down, flashing. I was like, I was about to pull up StreamYard on the phone. I said, look like it's going to be a night. I'm going to have to do it on the phone.
On the phone, right.
Oh.
Right. Man, sometimes it be like that, boy. I'm telling you.
It be like that. Yes, indeed. But all praises to the Most High. We are here. I pray that the Most High bless us tonight and that we don't have any hiccups, anything like that. But the show is in very, very good hands. Safa, how you doing, brother? Glad to see you, man.
Shalom. I'm doing good.
That's good.
It rained yesterday, real good, and it looked like it was supposed to rain today. It's hot.
Yeah.
It's still
I
hot.
thought this whole system that we got here in Houston, I was thinking that it was coming from Dallas. No?
No.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, it did the same thing over here in South Carolina yesterday. It was off and on.
Yeah.
And then
That's where I thought it was coming from.
Yeah.
Well, the weatherman said it's supposed to still rain today.
Say that
But
again?
15% mean probably not just
Right.
Dallas, somewhere else.
Right.
Scattered.
Right.
Yeah.
They 15% be
Yeah, anywhere on the map that they got. They never say where to put 20% chance. Everybody got an umbrella.
Yeah, exactly.
The way it look here, man, we got us 100% coverage, man. I'm talking, boy. Yeah,
Man, that look like early morning fishing light out there.
Yeah, it's bad out there, man.
It do look a little gray behind you.
Yeah.
Through the window.
But hey, I don't know. I sleep through storms like that. So if I tell you some of these, man, I done had no lie. I wish I still had the pictures, dude. Never seen water like this before in my life. I had a whole lake in my front yard, man, one time from rain. When I moved down here to Houston, man, normal rain is not normal rain. Houston is a fishbowl. And when
right
it
different.
rains, it floods, dude. I'm talking water be at the hood level on the freeway. I'm saying, wait a minute. I say, I'm on 45. Why do it look like I'm in a boat? That's how it is on it. So yeah,
They don't believe in drains out there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bad, man. Houston floods, man. But all praises. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
First thing on the ticket is beyond critical race theory. And the Ruach was moving this week on that one. That was
man. The Ruach was most definitely moving. We got a doozy tonight. So some folks may be familiar with this story. Some of our audience may be familiar. I'm sure you two guys. Now, I was familiar. I heard about it, a couple years ago, but I really didn't do a lot of background. And when you dropped in the chat about all of the lakes that have so-called black towns buried under, I was like, man, he sure been in my mind, because Lake Lanier has been on my heart for a little while now. Every summer they say that it's a tourist attraction, and it's over in Oscarville, Georgia, in Forsyth County. Now that's around 45 minutes north of Atlanta. Okay. So we're about to we're going to find out why a lot of us migrated to Atlanta. It's going to make sense. Okay. So yeah, Lake Lanier and Oscarville. Now this article is from Sabrina Kearns she's a writer for the Dawson County newspaper. And whenever you hear stories like this, we can always go to, of course, Wikipedia verified sources like that. But I wanted to dig deep with somebody that's from that area, that grew up around that area. That's her stories. And now she's older and worked for a newspaper. She went interviewing people and was, digging in. Right. So
did a hard work.
Did it right. And so somebody that's actually there. So Miss Sabrina Karen, shout out to you for a great article that was published in Dawson County newspaper, January 7th of this year. Many living in North Georgia had heard the tales of what lies beneath Lake Sidney Lanier. From stories about graves being buried by the water on the shore, alleged supernatural sightings near Browns Bridge, which crosses over that lake. Rumors surrounding Lake Lanier just continue to be shared across Georgia, not just across Georgia, but across the country. And it's garnered a lot of attention. Oscarville was a rural, majority black community in northeast Forsyth County, near the border of Hall County, on a portion of land later used by the lake. Now, remember that, on a portion of land later used by the lake. Now, it was a strong black community, rural area, that pretty much before, now this all happened in 1912, this whole thing that we're about to go through. But before 1912, 1,100 black residents in Forsyth County, 58 of those residents being landowners. Now, this is 1912. Just 30 to 40 years after the whole abolition of slavery and all that.
Right.
Mostly in Oscarville. According to the Digital Library of Georgia, 109 black residents paid the farm tax, meaning that they had either rented or owned farms. Other black residents worked in a nearby city named Cummings as craftsmen or other laborers. She writes that there seemed to be a feeling of community in the town. So that's how we roll. Everybody know that everybody speak to each other. Everybody knew each other. We were landowners. We had our own farms. We were laborers. We were craftsmen. I mean, come on. We had just came out of something and we were starting to build.
Right.
Now, here we go. So we was a thriving community that had a lot of churches. Now, back then, the reason that the church bombings that we all know about that became nationally renowned in the 30s and 40s was because our churches back then, most were to protect the community. And this county was known for that. The pastors were there to protect. It wasn't no shadiness going on. They worked together. They provided food for the community. The tithes and offering was farming food.
It was using it.
Right. So check this out. Now, here's where things started to take a turn. In 1912, a local newspaper archived, listen to this. Now, they call it critical race theory, but listen to this. A local newspaper archive is a fact. That's written in stone. by the Georgia Newspaper Project showed that Oscarville was a strong Black community where many children also attended local schools. A 1908 Georgia school census shows that 316 children of color were enrolled in school in the county. But at that time, some white residents in Forsyth saw this community as sort of a threat. There you go right there. Now that's where everything started to turn. One white subscriber wrote a letter to the local newspaper expressing a fear that the children attending the school might eventually be able to pass the state's literacy test for voting that were created to keep Black residents away from the polls. So by the end of 1912, there were 2 incidents that led the county to the complete abandonment and destruction of what was a successful Black community. So basically, in September that year, 2 alleged assaults against white women were reported in the county. The first alleged assault took place on September 5th, when a woman reported that 2 Black men had assaulted her in Cumming. By September 7th, the sheriff had arrested the 2 men and 4 accomplices. Days later, an 18-year-old white woman was found in the woods just east of Cumming. Several Black residents were named suspects. So this in turn, of course, now you see that, how 2 separate incidents, now that were named Black residents. So instead of letting due process happen, we all know what happened.
Right.
There was a mob that seized an angry mob. What happened? So they put the guy in jail in Atlanta.
Yeah.
The night riders, white residents, owned horses, rode to Atlanta, got him out of jail, beat him, and hung him.
Of course.
Okay? A mob, right.
Allegedly.
Right. So what it was, okay, night riders, white residents who came through the town at night on horseback, they burned down houses, threw explosives into nearby buildings, according to the archived reporting by the Gainesville News and Dahlonega Nugget. Those are 2 newspapers in neighboring counties. So once again, this stuff is documented. This is not theory. That's the whole point of bringing this out.
Right. This is
theory.
Did you say they made a test
so
to see if they could vote?
Oh yeah,
So not only are we getting killed, we getting hit on both sides.
And it scared the white community. They were feared because
they scared enough to sit there and start jogging in that area all of a sudden.
Right. So there were, plenty of documented things. So Black residents, we fled, left our land to Hall County and Fulton County. That's why a lot of us, that's what Black Hollywood in Atlanta. That's why a lot of us ran there from that. Because
like you said, we're about to find out why we got
that's why we're there. Because you got Forsyth County, you got neighboring Hall County and Dawson County, where this lady, she said Black residents fled in all directions, but the majority made their way to Hall County and Fulton County. Yep. Oscarville was abandoned. The churches and the pillars of the community burnt to the ground. The residents who used to live there were forced to start over, securing jobs and opening businesses where they could in Gainesville. See, we went as far as Gainesville.
Yeah.
Those who own land in Oscarville.
Gainesville, Florida?
Gainesville, Georgia.
Is that Gainesville, Florida you talking?
No, Gainesville, Georgia.
Yep. It says all those who own land in Oscarville no longer felt safe coming back to claim what was theirs. So we couldn't even go back to get our stuff and claim our land. Now let's get to what lies beneath Lake Lanier. So now, moving forward, nearly 40 years later, the land that once made up Oscarville and Forsyth County was still mostly abandoned as the Black population in the county remained low. People were hearing stories about that. They were like, we moved to Atlanta. We moved to Fulton County and DeKalb or Gwinnett. We're not going to that county. Some say when it came to building Lake Lanier in the 1950s, the area was specifically chosen to cover up the town to silently remove the history from the area. Here we go. Same thing they're doing now with critical race theory. Through the process of preparing for Lake Lanier, here's the key right here. The U.S. government acquired the rights to more than 56,000 acres of land in Forsyth County, Hall, and Dawson counties to make room. The U.S. government to make room for the 38,000 acre lake and more than 700 miles of shoreline. This included several small towns, which consisted of farmland, even to the point to where some refused to leave after offered papers from the government. Some that refused to leave were forced out even taken out of their homes and moved by the government.
I'm listening to you, but they still do that today, though. It's called gentrification.
Yep. So the point of the story is gentrification has been going on since then. They burnt our city under the ground. The government came and bought the land, put a lake on top of our city that's still under there now. They got cars, trees that's tall, pine trees, still under.
The real city of Atlas.
A real city of Atlantis. Thank you.
So the enemy never changes his weapons.
Bruh, this all stems down to critical race facts. This is a fact. Lake Lanier, Oscarville, y'all research it. It says today, Lake Lanier provides water to the metro Atlanta area and draws more than 10 million visitors to its shores each year. Most of that shoreline is in Hall County, though it borders Dawson, Forsyth, and Gwinnett. It is Georgia's most popular lake and also sees several drownings in a typical year, earning it a reputation for being dangerous and deadly. And I wonder why.
You know, as you was reading that in the time period and what that was in, right? And the land that we was owning, they said that they feared us. They looked at us as a threat. The threat was not so much a threat as to they thought that we was dangerous. The threat that they feared is what they were seeing happening, which is, and I tell people this all the time, we are a people who was oppressed and enslaved by white people in America. When we became free, and you can go look this up. I'm not making this up. This is a fact. We were on pace to become more economically sound than the people that oppressed us. That's what they feared.
Bruh.
My wife's grandfather was born in 1900. You hear me?
1900.
This brother was born in 1900. This brother here had land on top of land on top of land. He had 16 kids to go with that land.
Wow.
And he was able to leave here with all of them having land. How he acquired that land at that particular time, Sha'ir Yashub, sure he does not know, but he had it.
Right.
So it was there, it was available. Right?
Right.
We had, and he did not even have what we would call an education. As far as I know, I don't even think Mr. George went to school, and if he did, he didn't go past a certain grade. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Did he know how to read? Yeah, because that's dangerous for a black man at that time to know how to read. That's probably how he acquired it. Either that or he didn't let them know he know how to read.
Right. Well, see, this is the thing. In the town that he lived in, and I wish my wife was here so she could, give in on this, because I'm going by what I heard from her, right? She know. But in the town that he lived in, he was the town vet.
Wow.
He didn't go to school to learn how to heal animals and how to work on animals, but then white people trusted him. They would bring him their horses. They would bring him their livestock. And to this day, there are still white people that come through there. When they come through there, it look like a road on Color Purple. I'm not lying to you. The road look like one of them
gravel
roads on
road.
Color Purple. Yeah, they come through there, man. And when they come through there,
tires can go on it.
The white people, they honk their horn and they wave
to
the Stanley fan. And they wave. You see what I'm saying, man?
Right.
So what you talking about is, this is why I tell people, and this here is for a whole nother conversation, though, but this is facts. I tell people, and Safa know it too, integration was the worst thing
that
ever
happened
to us as a people.
We was our everything. Right. We was literally our everything.
Right.
And they didn't like that, man. We didn't need for nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all thought they was gonna beat us down when we was chained up and all that. No, they taught us how to farm. They taught us how to do everything economically, save money, keep money, save food, do everything. Grow our own food.
From 1865 to 1912 was 47 years. So by 1912, in that one area alone, in one county, you had 58 landowners. That's one landowner per year or more.
That's right.
That's right. So they multiplied by 50 states.
And the only way they was gonna get look here, man. I'm tagging him because he shows who he is. Everything
that is the children of Israel.
Everything that the white man have, they get it by thievery, force, and murder.
Kill, stealing,
everything that they have, they get it by thievery, force, and murder. Right. Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1 says, gather yourselves together, ye. Gather together, O nation, not desired.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
O nation, not desired. Who is less desired than us? But yet they do love us, though. Hey, they love our swag.
They love, they'll jack our swag and our character and personality, but us.
But they'll want to have nothing. Gather together, O ye nation. Now, Christians will say, oh, he's talking about Christians there. No.
I'm talking about the church.
Right, yeah, right.
That too, the church, yeah. Talking about Jacob. Jacob, wake up, Jacob. Wake up, Jacob. So, hey, it's been good, man. I appreciate that, man.
I love it.
I thought about us as the Israelites. When I started digging in there, I was like, man, that's us, man. They had to take this away. And like you said, they pop locking and wearing Adidas and Puma in China right now.
Hey, we got a guest in I ain't seen in a minute. Israel, what's happening, brother?
He in the building.
He is in the building. Shalom, brother. Let's get this music break. We got one from Zamiria, man. It's called Salt.
Yeah.
I like Salt.
Yeah, man.
I like to say Zamiria, she's nice, man.
Yeah, man. Got a great style. Good sister.
Yes.
Cody.
Yes. It's really great style, and it's different from, you know what I'm saying, the norm. She's a really she's a really good change up. Here we go. This is Salt by Zamiria.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Salt. This ain't what you want. Get out of the kitchen. It's too much for your tongue.
All right.
Yeah,
That's
got
that,
me over here
that's
dancing.
that. I know, right? That's that island music. That's what I was about to say, right?
Man, that's
That
what
is
it's
that.
on,
That's
man.
that island music, man.
Yeah.
Indeed. For everybody who is here with us tonight, if you could hit that like button, that'll help. That will help the show tremendously. To be able to reach more people and continue to share as well. But let's get into why we are here, man.
Yeah, man.
While Ann Hitch done got killed,
Tragic.
and Serena Williams, Sabrina, whatever her name is, she has announced her retirement from tennis. The WNBA is on the heels of having their playoffs, and the monster of all sports is cranking up, which is the NFL. The point that I'm making is that all of these distractions are right before us, but what we not hearing about, they telling us about monkeypox, they telling us about COVID, they telling us about what's the other one that's out right now? Monkeypox, COVID, polio making a rise back. Yep. They talking about that, right? But what they not talking about, they'll mention it, but they'll mention it ever so lightly. They're not talking about the conflict that is brewing with America and China. That's what they're not talking about.
Man, and it's brewing too, boy.
It's brewing.
Oh, man.
It's brewing.
Man.
It's brewing to a point where if you are not taking note of it, it's time for you to start taking note of it. And like I was telling my wife, and I'm sure both of you guys understand as well, right? That even though they're showing us in the media that they're beefing with each other, in all reality, these nations are working together for a cause.
Absolutely. Con.
These nations are working together for a cause. Con. You can't be together in unity on one end, like everybody, come together for the efforts of COVID, and then you beefing over here on this over here. You see what I'm saying? So, and all of these other issues, you can't be together that the world is in danger for global warming and climate change, but yet you beefing on these type of issues. Right. Look, you guys control the minerals. You guys control the fuel. You guys control the money. You guys control our lives. So what is it for you guys to come together, go drink a little wine together, smoke a little cigars together, right, and be like, hey, we gonna put this theatrical show up in front of the world that we have issues with each other. Right. But in reality, what we're really trying to do is bring everybody into slavery. Right. That's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing.
So we're not going to say that the things that are being done intentional. We just going to let it talk for itself, right?
That's it.
We just going to let it talk for itself. Now, with that being said, America knows exactly what they be doing.
Yeah.
We're looking at all over again what happened with China. What happened with Putin and Ukraine.
Mm-hmm. Right.
For the people who don't know why Russia invaded, and we're going to talk as if they're not working together. Okay, we're going to talk as if
a little surface talk.
What's that?
A little surface talk. We just gonna keep it where everybody is, very opinionated.
Right. As if they really beefing with each other. That's how we gonna talk. So the reason why Putin invaded Ukraine is because America was sticking their nose in business that didn't have anything to do with them.
Right.
It had been peaceful over there for years until Ukraine started dealing with America by NATO, and America was dealing with Ukraine by NATO. When Putin wanted to join NATO, America told Putin to go sit over at the kids' table. We don't even want to talk to you right now.
Right.
And Putin was like, well, if you don't want me to join NATO, but yet you want Ukraine to join NATO, and Ukraine is in my backyard. We talk the same language. We don't want your westernized ideologies over here. And so Ukraine, either you stop talking to America, and America, you stop coming over here talking to Ukraine. But America did what America always do, which is what they want to do.
Provoke.
Putin said, okay, I'm just gonna tear it off the bone.
Yeah. If I have to go to the kids' table, my toys got to go with me.
Right.
So that's why.
Wow.
So that's why they are in that war over there right now, right? Because of that. Because of that. So America is doing the exact same thing they did in Russia. They doing right now to China with Taiwan. Taiwan is the little pun that is causing the rhetoric. China looks at Taiwan as theirs. Even though Taiwan is an independent nation, China said, look, they belong to us. You got to understand the geographical region at this too, right? They're right there next to each other. And there has been peace there all of this time. So why is there a problem now? Because America is doing the exact same thing that they did in Russia. Check this out. Nancy Pelosi, the first official of her stature to visit Taiwan in nearly 30 years.
That's what got me. 30 years.
30 years.
So why now?
Why now? Exactly.
Why now? You cannot, America, you cannot push your democratic policies on every nation.
Right.
You can't make everybody believe the way that you believe. You can't make every government fit your style of life. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. So they are provoking China to war the same way they provoke Russia to war.
Right.
Now, this is just me talking, and I'm sure you already know my answer by the way that I'm talking. So I'm just to throw this here to the floor with the very first question on, imagine China and America fighting, right? And whichever one of y'all want to take this off the rip, the first question is America doing this intentionally? Is this being done intentionally?
Go ahead, Doc. What you think?
Yeah,
about
done intentionally. They seem to, and by the way, they playing they cards wrong with this one, but they seem to see somebody, the little person on the playground. I'm gonna go help them out, get the bully off of them, but the bully's really trying to help them out, basically. So let's get with Taiwan. Taiwan shares and rank has been falling since 2000. Between 2000 and 2015, they were being ranked between 14th, 2.3 in shares has dropped down to 1.7. They rank has went from 14th to 17th in trades. And they're being kicked off 3 other parts of the globe. So nobody wants to deal with them.
Right.
They desperate. They need help.
Right.
They need a friend. Nobody want to play with her. Here come America. I got you. I help. I got you. You know, I see what I'm doing to Ukraine. So of course. So yeah, they know at the same time pointing their tongue out at China. So yeah, they evil. To answer. Go ahead, Io.
Yeah. So to land back and bounce, he made the point I was going to go to. America is being the cheerleader. But see what they're doing is exactly how Safar is saying it. They're the cheerleader because Taiwan has been falling. China wants to reclaim it and not have them to deal with anybody except just them and their allies. So here comes America saying, we got you back.
Right.
They went to 300 people got rid of them. Why you didn't do it when the first one?
But what they truly trying to say is this: they're trying to send a message to all the other nations saying, y'all must have forgot. Like Roy Jones say, I'm the big bully on the block.
That's exactly what it is.
They're trying
that's
to
exactly
make
what it is.
Everybody else, you know, what was your man Bean said in State Property? Get down and lay down. That's basically what they're trying to do.
Right.
But it seems like they go seek out. They go places and seek the most horrible place.
Right.
Let me say you this dream.
Right. There you go. Because why?
It seems like China saying, "Hey, don't do that. You better off just messing with me."
Right. Right.
Trust me, they didn't fail.
But do not China have the right though? Because you got to understand that's a neighboring nation, right?
Yeah.
And now check this out. This is coming out of an article, TRT World. I found this interesting when I read it, right? And I found this interesting when I read it because they said the exact same thing that I was saying, and I was like, it only makes sense. This is Shelley Riggers out of TRT World, right? The article. And she is a professor of political science at Davidson College. She told the New Yorker that it does not benefit Taiwan, probably does harm to Taiwan's security, and it is secured that U.S.-China relations, which were already pretty bad, are worse than they were before. That's exactly right. That was the same thing that I said. Right. America, you saying that you're going over here to help Taiwan and to show what kind of strength that Taiwan have, when really you're putting Taiwan in danger.
Right.
In danger.
You're putting Taiwan in the crosshairs the same way you put Ukraine in danger with Russia.
Right. Because
just by you meddling, what did Penny Mama ask her? Where were you, Penny? Right. I was with JJ. She didn't have no business with JJ.
Right. Right.
She didn't have no business getting an iron put to her.
No. By no means. No means. But if you go back and look at those episodes, right? Yeah. Florida and JJ, the girl did not have no business. But I don't watch these episodes a million times, so much to the point I don't even like Good Times no more. I digressed a little bit because I see how the writers was keeping us in a situation, right? I used to love it, but I see how the writers was keeping us in a situation. Yeah. But if you go back and look at those episodes, Florida and JJ and Thelma was putting their business in business that did not have nothing to do with them.
Right.
Yeah.
That was causing Penny to have an adverse reaction, even though her mama was crazy, was causing Penny to be in danger. And this is what America is doing to Taiwan.
Right. And you see, just like Penny's, just like the mother, you see what Taiwan did. They, as soon as she stepped foot, they put airplanes and jets in the air.
Yep.
Started doing
exactly.
Green. So they say, okay, so you saying to the world, you the big bull on the block. We saying to the world, we are that one contender that you really don't want to fight in the ring and box. We that one contender that you really don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you said that, Ayo, because that's the exact same thing that TRT World said in the article. It says that the visit sends a message to other nations that the U.S. can and will challenge any nation, no matter how strong they may pretend to be. And that's exactly what America is doing. They flexing. Now,
but you see what they wrote real quick. You see what they wrote. They didn't say no matter how strong they are.
Right. They may pretend.
30 years ago, it would have said no matter how strong they are,
no matter
how strong they pretend to be. So look.
That armor's getting weakened, man. Woo. Everybody's figuring it out.
And everybody know it. Everybody know it.
And that's why I said they picked the wrong one with China.
Yeah, they did.
Because the stats that I have, not just with, ones that you sent us, but the ones as far as if they just take a little bit off their shelf. And they group is called Rodin Group. Rodin Group created other groups to, I guess, manage folks. Okay, I'm gonna send you here. Make sure they're doing my money correctly. So Rodin Group started, if China was to stop trade with America, it will impact the economics by 25% that they make off of 190 billion that come in a year.
Man, 190.
Right. We're gonna get to that, but yeah, you are absolutely
my bad,
right.
Brother.
And this goes, no, you okay. But this goes to show you, this goes to answer the question. I asked the question, are they doing this intentionally? Right. Numbers like that alone that you know that it's being intentional, because there's no way that you would do harm to somebody who is making you money like that.
190 billion?
Right?
Yeah.
Look, okay, so you don't want Pelosi to come over there, China, because, I tell you what, so Pelosi, you go over there and sit yourself down and go try to earn your skin now, because you're looking kind of raggedy right now.
They said it was a provocative visit too, and then later on it said trillion. I said, what the? So
Yes.
you already know. I'm like, that's weird.
Yes.
So
TRT it says that analysts say the purpose of Pelosi's trip. Analysts say this.
Analysts.
The purpose of Pelosi's trip was nothing short of a provocative act.
And you know, analysts love to say, "Oh, come down, everything's okay." They love to play it down, and
they went over there to promote them.
Right.
Now, still on this first question on this war thing, right? This is something that we need to understand. We've been talking about a great reset for the longest. Just about every show we've been talking about the reset.
Right.
You got to understand that America is a corporation. Get out of your mind that it's a nation, because it's not a nation.
Right.
China is a nation.
Right.
Russia is a nation.
Right.
These are nations. America is not a nation. America is pseudo. It's a pseudo nation. What? I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to think about this.
Mm-hmm.
What do an American look like? What do an American look like? They have fooled all of us into believing that we are Americans. What is an American? Right? So, with this being said, right? China know that a war with America would not be good for its people. America know that a war with China would not be good for its people. But yet, you allow Pelosi to get on a plane and go over here when they asked her not to.
Right.
So you are not putting the benefit of your people in best judgment. In fact, you are putting your people, both nations, you are putting your people in direct harm.
Yep.
We've been talking about a reset. This is why Sha'ir Yashub Judah is so convinced that this is intentional, because America is the thorn in the side.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
American people have too much. Even the bums on the street got more than what a lot of other nations got.
Yep.
2 cars.
Tell my wife, you see a dude on the street, this joker, he ain't got nowhere to live, but he might have 3 things. He might have a very obedient dog. Man, them are some of the most obedient dogs I've never seen in my life.
You're right, man. That's crazy.
He's going to have a very obedient dog.
Right.
He's going to have a bicycle. And he may have him a bag by the nearest fast food place with food inside of it.
Yes, sir.
America got too much. So in order for the reset to happen, this is what has to happen. America has to be brought down to a second and third world nation. What better way to do that than a war?
Yep.
They need war. They want war.
What better way to do that than a war? What better way to collapse the American dollar to bring in a digital currency than a war?
Right. Because you could say, I mean, that's the greatest way to do it, and the masses be fooled. The masses
be fooled. I mean, they fooling us this far. Check it out, man.
Yeah.
America done came to the end. The corporation done came to the end of their business. Look, if any of us start a business, none of us is going to start a business to have that business forever. Right. Or to run that business forever, should I say, right? One or two things going to happen. We're going to run this business, and we're going to groom our children to take it over for us at some point.
Right.
Or we're going to run this business, get what we can get out of the business, and we're going to get out of it. That's where America is at right now. It doesn't serve its purpose. It has no more purpose. They have stolen all the land.
Like we just
they done pretty much conquered all of the other nations. Mm-hmm. They done stole all the minerals in earth everywhere. They have enslaved everybody in earth everywhere. They have no more enemies to fight. So what's the purpose now? It's time to do what? Cash out.
Cash out. Cash out.
With the benefits of these little small places they going, trying to help them out in war.
The Rots. Oh, I'm getting before. I'm putting fast.
This
I don't want to say that name yet. I don't want to say that name yet. Yes, this is being done intentionally, man. Because you got to understand that they telling us in the news that they're going over there to help Taiwan. In reality, they're putting Taiwan in danger. The second question I got on this war thing is, and this one here, man, when I sat down and thought about it, for real, it blew my mind. What will war with China look like? And when I say that, I mean economically. I'm sure you got people, and I know people. I work with them, man, and I live amongst them that would be like, man, let's go to war with China. China don't want America. China don't want America. Let's go to war. We'll knock China off their block, blah, blah, blah. While they sitting around there, let me see something.
It's always the regurgitators, man. They gonna say whatever they heard.
It's not on there.
Think it's right to say.
It's not on there. But while they sitting there talking to you with a coffee mug in their hand that says on it made in China. How will war with China?
Exactly.
Check the shirt tag, brother.
Great point. Because that's exactly how war with China would look.
How would it look, man?
It would look. Listen, man. Look. An overview. China GDP in 2020 was an estimated 14.9 trillion. 14.9 trillion. Trillion. U.S. goods and services trade with China totaled an estimated 615 billion.
Come on now. This was in 2020, am I correct?
2020, yes. So you mean to tell me you're going to jeopardize that?
Come on now. Both of y'all are agreeing with jeopardizing $615.2 billion. This was in 2020.
That was in 2020. Because like you just said, those numbers match up with how many cups that say made in China, how many shirts, socks, headphones, all kind of keyboards, laptops made in China. US is say we'll pay 150 million to get all that done because we're gonna when it gets back, we're gonna make 210 million off of it.
Right.
So our profit is gonna be another 70 million. So we don't mind. So you're gonna
if we go to war with China, man, we always here in Texas anyway. I don't know on the East Coast, but here in Texas, we talk about they keep turning them the Mexicans back and sending them back to Mexico. Our subdivisions ain't gonna be getting built, because Mexicans are framers and they sheetrockers, down here down south, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you this: you go to war with China, ain't nothing gonna get built. A lot of our American cars, American named cars like Ford and GM and Chevy, you think those cars made here in America?
Or any of the parts.
I was just about to say that. Even if the bodies are made here in America, the parts.
You got door handles, you got the bolts and nuts and lug nuts, you got brakes, you got
see what I'm saying?
Come on, man. And see, this is what the average American, this is what people don't
This is
think
what
about.
they're not thinking about. And then I'm going to tell you this. We put ourselves in that position when we sold out in the free trade market.
Right.
Because before that, we were making our own stuff.
Right.
This is the benefit of having industries in your own nation.
Right.
When you got industries in your own nation, the products are not going to cost as much because they're being made domestically.
Right.
And they're being made domestically by people of your same nations, which means that they can feed their families. But because of greed, America saw that, hey, I could create sweatshops in China, in Indonesia, in Mexico, in Taiwan, where they can make a shoe for $2. And when it come back over here, we can sell that shoe for $25, $30.
Yep.
That's more than 100% profit.
Yep.
But with that being said, though, that product price goes up because if that shoe was made in America, that'd be a $12 shoe.
Yep.
Right.
With that being said, though, now you got more Americans unemployed because there are no jobs here because all the jobs are overseas. Hey,
The thing Trump was trying to reverse.
Before it's all over with, yo, and Safa, they gonna say, man, you're like them, like some Trump. They gonna be saying that. They gonna be saying this.
They gonna say about both of us. Yeah.
They gonna say that boy like Trump.
That's
But this is what y'all don't know. You know what Trump was doing? Trump was making an effort to. What was he doing, yo?
He was bringing them jobs back.
He was bringing them back, and he was taxing companies. He was taxing them hard. If you seen your
That's why they raided. That's why they went to his house and raided. That's why. It wasn't because he had secret documents about nuclear. Man, get out of here with that.
You see what I'm saying?
I hope people didn't believe that. I hope people didn't believe that.
Yeah.
Look here, man. They gonna say, oh man, there's some Trump supporters there. I told Safa I was gonna buy a shirt and I was gonna go to my in-laws' house, right? They hate Trump. I was gonna buy this shirt to say, don't blame me, I voted for Trump.
Right.
He was, man, listen. If folks truly knew, and one of the other biggest distractions.
Shalom, sister.
And Hesh and all Cardi B getting a tattoo on her face and doing the song with Usher and all this other stuff. The FBI raiding Trump's Mar-a-Lago, that's another distraction from exactly what we're talking about. They're using him as the scapegoat because they know what he was trying to do. So they say once again, war is profitable because who's cutting the check? These companies
we don't get to that check cut.
Yeah, who cut the check? Because these
you are absolutely bullets, right.
Tanks, Tigers, rolling on these.
Yeah,
all of this stuff, man.
Let's just talk about
weapons. You see what I'm saying?
Weapons?
Yeah.
And this is what people don't understand, that every nation getting all of their stuff from the same place.
Same place. It's coming from the same place.
You got Foot Locker, you got Foot Action, and both of them sell Nikes.
Both of them sell Nikes.
Yeah.
And the Nikes that Foot Action sell bought they Nikes from the same place Foot Locker bought they Nikes from.
Right. Right.
I can't make it no simpler than that.
Same material, same design, everything
the same.
So, but hold on, check this out though, y'all. This is in between of studying what would happen if China take their merchandise away, how much that'll affect. And on the flip side, I researched also, the flip side of that, if Taiwan do it would. I mean, if China was to say, hey, I'm gonna stop accepting y'all's. 20% of they import is on the U.S. So the other 80 would take care of China.
Yes.
But both of them together comes from a group from the Census Bureau called Rodham Group. Here we go. Rodham Group is they've been now, I want to say for a long time, because they actually don't have an open date. But they have ranked and put thinking tanks together for as like United States, Asia, and Europe. And they say our works regularly cited by media and government bodies and used by firms, investors, philanthropists, leaders, policymakers, all worldwide. So they are getting their information from this group, what to do. If you don't do it, you get kicked out. It's a lot of stuff on here. They deal with global, what do you call it? Global control, warming, global warming.
Oh, climate control.
They got their hands in that because of their research that they do. They research people and collect data. Everything that they doing in China on people is coming from this group.
It's coming from that group.
You say that group is made up of politicians, investors, leaders. So it's everybody got a little stake.
So that goes back to what we were saying, right, Ayam, that even though they putting that front, that facade, that they beefing with each other, they working together.
Really working
You
together.
got American politicians that's making up that group. Right. You have Russian politicians that's making up that group. You have Chinese politicians that are making up that group. The two strongest economies in the world and the two biggest armed militaries, as foreigners say, militaries in the world is America and China.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's why the Bible talks so much about Asia and Babylon. And what did the Bible say about Asia? That you patted yourself out for her.
Right. And then Oh,
you learned from her.
You learned from her.
So therefore, whatever Babylon get, guess what, Asia? You gonna get
too.
Now check this number out. This was a number that was interesting to me. It was out of that same articles, the People Republic of China, U.S.-China trade facts. It said goods exports. It's talking about America's goods going out, totaled $124 billion. But the imports, did you see the number of the imports?
Bro, that's
434.7 billion. So do you really want to go to war with China? Right. 34.7 billion dollars of that's everything that you own.
Bro, there's no way 100 of us could spend that money in a lifetime.
You know how much Bezos is worth? My wife just looked it up. That brother worth over $200 billion, man. That's one man.
That's one man.
That's one man. Then the list just started going down and down from there. And it's not by a whole lot, man. We talking Bezos over 200 and something billion.
So he has money quietly invested in the crash.
He got money quiet. Look, two things, man. The brother made up a point. He said it would affect China by 20%, so the other 80 would take care of China. All praises for those numbers, Safa. Right. Those was great numbers. But check this out. This is what people don't know. COVID hurt America economically.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
COVID hurt Europe economically. COVID hurt those small nations economically. But guess what nation did not hurt at all? Didn't budge? China.
Boom.
China. In fact, China's economy grew.
Ain't that something?
That's why they don't care about closing folks up in IKEA.
Right. They don't think it's right. They like, we about to be the next bully on the block. We don't.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they showing how to do it. This is why America is chasing that police state, because that's how they doing it with a police state. Look, man, imagine. And this is a story we're not going to be able to get to tonight. We're going to get to the second story though. Y'all okay with staying a little longer?
Yeah, let's get it.
Imagine going to the ATM and not being able to draw your money out.
No, I could.
That's what China is doing to their people. While listen to what Yob said. I didn't even know Cardi B got a tattoo on her face.
Right.
What she want to go do that for? I'm sure she in your shoe. Don't know. But I'm sure don't know.
This stuff is crazy, man.
You got all of these celebrities dying and getting killed. This is what they putting in front. You got new game shows coming on. This is what they putting in front of you, right?
Right.
They putting all of this stuff in front, but what they not letting you know that right up under your feet is a rug. And America is holding that rug.
Yep.
And while you think that you are standing on stable ground,
they about to yank that joker.
They about to yank it.
Because
that's what I was going to use about what China going to do to America.
Yeah,
I'll pull this tablecloth out.
Bro, I yanked
and I'll fall.
If we got up, look, right now in China, if you got 177 people shopping at IKEA, and they go through coming IKEA and they scan their forehead and it turn red. And they say, okay, you got to come over here to get tested. And you go get tested and it's positive. They can lock the whole IKEA down.
They locking it down.
Bro, did y'all see that video and that picture of them people trying to get out of there?
Yeah.
Once they made
They
that
locking it down.
Yeah.
Bruh. And you might
They
be in there
locking
for
it down.
2 hours.
How far are we from that?
Bruh.
You better go read Matthew 24. You don't believe me, believe the word. Go read Matthew 24.
And that was just one to kill.
That's just one, right? That's just one to kill. If that
This is
happened
where
over
we
here,
are at right now, man.
if that happened over here, we wake up in the morning and it's all over news that happened in a couple states, and then the ATMs all of a sudden not working, bruh, you will have
Pandemonium, in the words of Walter Cronkite. What's his name?
Concrete. And it'll be in a snap of a finger.
In a snap of a finger.
In a snap of a finger, wake up to that, and then there's nothing but radio.
I don't want to be around nobody. I don't want to be around the most mildest man in the world. You know that one dude that's in everybody's family? I don't know about our family though, so far. I don't think we got nobody like this. But that one dude that's in most people's family, they can say, man, I ain't never seen him mad. He ain't never raised his voice. I don't want to be around nobody who went to the ATM machine and they know they got money and the ATM machine don't give them no money. And the first thing they gonna do, they gonna pick out their phone, they gonna call the bank. And then when they hear that do, oh man, it's time to go. I don't want to.
But think back to February, that last week of February. Putin invaded Ukraine on February 24th. By the 29th, they had been telling people, get in Russia, get your cash in Ukraine, get your cash out the ATM, get your cash out the bank. Then 1st of March, what happened? ATMs not working.
They're not working.
ATMs weren't working. So people
look, like, this is how they fooled the people in China. They fooled the people in China. They was telling them they stole their money in China. They told them, say, put your money in our banks. Right. And we would give you high interest,
right,
on your savings.
On your savings.
And I was telling my wife, I said, well, if I was a normal thinking person, I'm gonna bite that too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. High interest rates on my money. You know what I'm saying? And then when they put their money in there, they go to withdraw. The bank's asking them what you want to withdraw for.
Yeah.
Asking about. They said, well, what if I want to buy an apartment? You got the leasing papers? We got to see the leasing papers.
Like, man, if you don't give me my money,
say. This is what was going down in China.
Wow.
This is what's going to be going down here. We are not safe.
Yeah.
We are not safe. Look, Biden, one of the first things that he wanted to do, and the only reason he's not doing it because he couldn't figure out how to justify it, he wanted to start checking your bank accounts when you had deposits over $500.
That's crazy.
I don't know too many people who work who don't have a deposit over $500 weekly or bi-weekly. If you're not making more than $500 when you get paid, you might, you know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about nobody.
Right.
Ain't talking about nobody. But if that's not the definition of a police state, I don't know what the definition is. Why do he want to start checking and have the IRS investigate you over $500 deposits?
Yep.
Because they want to control you. That's why.
And supposedly IRS they're hiring agents that are armed now, and you hear about that in the news.
See?
And then the IRS website supposedly said they made a mistake and took it down, but people like, nah, y'all, that wasn't a mistake. Y'all hiring IRS agents, got to be trained and gonna train them to shoot, to kill.
I like that. Y'all just right here say they're boyfriend and girlfriend. They just be having fights sometimes. Right. It just be little domestic problems.
Domestic dispute.
Yeah.
Domestic dispute.
Hey, I got one more point on that question right there, right? It says China is United States' largest supplier of goods in 2020. The U.S. goods imports from China total and we just read that $434.7 billion in 2022. That was down 3.6%.
Right.
That was down which is 16 billion from 2019, but up 19% exactly 2010. So U.S. imports are up 325% from 2001. Pre-World Trade Center thing, right?
Right.
So the U.S. imports from China account for, this is the grand total, 18.6% of overall U.S. imports in 2020. That's why everything that you touch, everything that you buy,
say made in
pretty
China.
much say made in China.
Made in Taiwan.
Yeah, these folks walking around talking about, let's go to war with China. Them iPhones that you holding, guess what? They ain't made in Oak Cliff.
Nope.
Them jokers ain't made. Them
Oak
jokers
Cliff
ain't
can't
made.
even make some good liquor. So whatever things you come out of Oak Cliff.
Hey, you better think about. Hey, a lot of y'all hamburger meat that y'all be getting from McDonald's is probably made in China.
China, right? Right. Duck bill platypus meat.
You know what I'm saying? I got one more question on this war talk though. Imagine if China and America was in a fight. Who is gonna benefit from this? But I know both of y'all ready for this, because both of y'all was already y'all was, you know what I'm saying?
Alluding to it.
Exactly. Yeah. Who gonna benefit from this here?
Will it be the Democrats or the Republicans? The Tea Party? None of those. You got I don't even know none of them. I just know by the last name. Rothschilds.
Rockefellers, Rothschild, the DuPonts.
Whoever funded the war.
Sachsmans and Gold. Sachs and Goldmans,
Sackman and Gold. Yep.
And you know all of these are, wait a minute, what did Revelation chapter 3 call them? Those who say they're Jews but are not, but are the synagogues of Satan.
Yep.
All of them names that we just called out. Rothschild, Jew. Chase, Jew.
Synagogue. Because you'll be on Martin Luther King's side until you find out early on.
Yes.
The Rothschilds are signing the check.
Rothschilds. How you think you get? What's that black school there? Them 2 black schools in Atlanta? Morehouse
and
Spelman.
Those are Rothschild funded.
They get big donations from exactly.
Those are Rothschild funded schools.
Exactly. When I found that stuff out a couple years ago, I was like, wow, okay, it makes sense. We got to keep these schools running because we do the same thing. They do the same thing on a grand scale, put 2 nations together to make it look like they beefing, making money. They do the same thing with universities, radio stations, TV stations.
How in the world us as black people who don't own nothing? You got little Chinas in every major city. You got little Mexicos in every major city, but you ain't got no little Negro in no city.
No.
How in the world can we who don't own nothing have a two big old universities like Howard and Princeton?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. See, it's a lot of the times, like my mama used to say, boy, put your thinking cap on.
Put your thinking cap on.
Put your thinking cap on.
Right.
Those not our schools. Right. They just like Def Jam ain't Russell Simmons.
Nope.
Right.
Nope.
And for a long time, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I only thought those was Cosby Show schools. They only exist on the Cosby Show.
On the Cosby Show. Hillman.
I ain't never heard of them until I moved out of Oak Cliff to DeSoto.
Right.
See?
Right, man.
The Rothschild is going to benefit from this. And that goes back to what we were saying earlier, because we know that we're not going to benefit from it. Look, if we go to war, I'm finna put something heavy out here. If America go to war with China, it's going to strain our economy so much to the point that employers are not going to be able to afford employees.
There you go.
I researched and it said it'd be a quick economic crash if China stopped accepting from America.
They said quick because they don't want you to be too free. It's not going to be quick in the sense of it's going to happen quick,
right?
But it ain't going to be quick as far as getting over.
Right.
If we go to war, because you got to think about it, man.
It'll collapse the world, it said.
It's going to collapse the world. Look at those numbers that we just called out right there.
Man, $434 billion.
Look at those numbers we just called out right there, man.
America.
So these two economic giants go to war.
Yeah.
Both nations, as far as the people, are going to feel it, man. Are going to hurt. And America even more so because we don't make nothing here no more.
No more, man.
So we would not be able to sustain ourselves.
Right. Because
we work.
No, I'm saying I can't remember the last time I seen something said "Made in USA."
I just bought a gun. One of my favorite one. Henry, Golden Boy, lever action, right? Old cowboy gun, man. I can't wait to buy me a hat and some boots. So I'll go cowboy gun like the rifleman. You know what the box said when I bought it? It said "Made in America" or "Not made at all." I said, "Well, look at that right there."
Right.
He's really trying not to get canceled, man. He's real.
We in America. I can still talk about a gun.
No, the happiness that you have that it said "Made in America." I'm gonna get some boots
and a cowboy hat.
Cowboy hat. And turn around and say, "Don't y'all press."
Give me a horse and call it Lucy.
They're I'm gonna get suited and booted. He said, "Can you see him with that accent?" He said, "That's that boat accent. He got that boat accent." Oh man,
like David Cross.
But that's the thing, though, man. But back to the you know, if we created our own goods, it wouldn't be so detrimental on us. But we don't create nothing.
We depend on them for.
There you go.
We're not a nation.
Right, we're corporate. Right, and what happens to corporations? We last couple shows ago we talked about Mitt Romney and his company, venture capitalists. They'll lay everybody off and take that money. If your payroll was $13 million annually, they'll say, "Guess what? We're already saving you $13 million this year."
Right.
For laying everybody off. Out of that 13 mil, your 50 employees, we're going to give them $40,000 service package.
Right.
They'll be able to live off that till they find another job. We're going to take that 13 mil to help you do something else.
Right.
So basically, just like America's a corporation.
Right.
Like you just said. No companies will be hiring because they're just not going to have the payroll to do it.
They're not going to have the payroll to do it because America is going to take all their entire budget. I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. They're going to take their entire budget and funnel it into the military. That's what they're going to do.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Which means that employers are not going to be able to pay for you. It don't matter what kind of work you do.
Right.
They're going to lay you off. They're going to fire you. And after they lay you off and fire you, they're not making money themselves. Guess what's going to happen to their business? It's going to go back to the bank. Guess what's going to happen to these $500,000 houses? Ain't nobody working no more.
Right.
Ain't no businesses no more. They're going to go back to the bank. These new Escalades that people buying, ain't nobody working no more. Ain't no businesses no more. Guess what's going to happen to them? They're going to go back to the bank.
They coming to get that.
Yeah. If you're in the Escalade, you should just drive it to the bank because of the gas prices. Just drop it off at the bank.
My goodness.
This is what's going to happen. And this sets up, though, the finale of the Great Reset. They have been trying to reset us since the beginning of COVID.
That's all I've been talking about.
And at the beginning of the show, y'all was laying something down, the foundation. Y'all said everybody, we all know they working together. Now they just go to war. The person is always when something new. I want to be the one to usher it in. You had your time. Now it's my time.
Right, there you go.
Right.
I want to be the one to usher it in. It's China time.
Wow. Amazing.
Let's get this one segment in. Let's get this one segment in before we get out of here, man. Imagine Imagine self-driving 18-wheelers. I ain't gonna even lie to you, man. I'd be scared to death if I would ride down 45 and I looked up and saw an 18-wheeler.
It's all the
Man, say, man,
I see them. I see them. I see the little cars with the little things that's going around it. And I ain't know what it was when I saw it. But it looks like they got cameras and they watching you. And I think the 18-wheelers got black, look like speakers all up there. But yeah.
So they riding around in Dallas.
Yes, they testing them out. Not a lot of them, but yeah.
Wow. A 2-minute video. Let's check this out.
Massive milestone, not only for us, but for the industry. We know to be a leader, we have to be the first.
Well, the first in having a truly driverless truck take the road on its own with nobody inside.
Yeah, the company Too Simple made history right here in Arizona with their self-driving semi traveling from Tucson to Phoenix along the I-10. So that is where we find our David Catabiano tonight. David, what do we know about this historic trip?
Jamie, this is pretty remarkable. This is a fully autonomous semi. It drove 80 miles from Tucson to Phoenix, and there was some law enforcement that followed the truck along the way to make sure everything was okay. Everything went just fine. There was no human intervention. The CEO says this is a major milestone for an emerging industry that could really help with the supply chain issues that we saw this year. This is not your ordinary semi because it can drive all by itself.
We had literally one instance where I think some other big truck driver passed us and it slowed down because he realized there wasn't anybody in the cabin.
San Diego-based Too Simple kept track as the truck followed its route along the I-10 from Tucson to Phoenix. The 80-mile trip took a little more than an hour to complete. Chen Liu is the company's CEO.
You think about it, you're operating a truck that is 80,000 pounds, driving 65 miles an hour, navigating both surface streets and highways.
Liu says this stretch of interstate is ideal for the first driverless route. Unmarked law enforcement vehicles supervise the entire trip, trailing half a mile behind the autonomous 18-wheeler.
I-10 is the busiest corridor for Class 8 trucks. I think the significance of this is not only the technology side, but really this is a full commercial route. We went from a terminal onto a highway and back into a very busy distribution center.
The business has 70 self-driving trucks that have already racked up millions of miles. The CEO believes this emerging industry could be a solution to the supply chain issues we've seen this year.
The only way you can create new freight capacity to solve the supply chain constraints is to not have drivers. Today is a major step towards that.
Yeah, and the CEO says that was the first of many test drives that they're going to have on the I-10. He says that you're going to see a fully operational commercial autonomous fleet in just the next 3 years. The company's goal, he says, is not to replace the trucking industry, but to work in partnership with them, Jared.
Man,
that is a big old weapon. That is a weapon on the road.
I used to drive them things, and I'm gonna tell you, when they up under load, you feel it.
Yeah.
I remember when I got up under load of what is it called? Copper. I don't know if you know how heavy copper is, right? But the very first time I got under load of copper, I forgot how to drive the truck. I drove to El Paso and got loaded, and they told me I was ready to go, and I got ready to pull out. That copper was so heavy, the truck kept bogging down on me, kept dying. I was like, what the, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, so I had to drop down in what is called a granny gear, right? To get it to pull, because normally you could pull out on a regular load. You could pull out in gear 2. You don't even have to mess with
right.
1. You know what I'm saying? Or a low gear. You could pull out at 2. And that's what I kept trying to do, but that copper was so heavy. So I'm saying all that to say 80-pound, 53-foot tractor trailer coming down the road by itself. But this was the most important thing. I don't know if you guys heard what he said. They said that this may be a solution to the supply chain issues. Job said all the time that they mess up.
They always slip up.
They always mess up. They always slip up.
They always slip up.
Dude, they messing with the supply chain on purpose.
On purpose to get this started.
They telling us that it's a shortage of truck drivers.
No, it ain't, bro. Like I said,
by
no means is there a
shortage of truck drivers. They fired them for this reason, and I'm pretty sure the person they fired was happy to test drive the truck,
right?
And everything, make sure it did okay.
They ain't fired no truck drivers. They just not giving them no work. Safa. They making it hard. They making it hard for you to get a CDL, bro. You know what you got to go through to get a CDL now.
Yeah, my oldest son he texted me the other day. I'm trying to get these CDLs, pops, and he going through it, trying to get them.
Going through, you might as well give your left lung and your third oldest kid.
That's exactly what he said. He said he going through it, trying to get the CDL.
Just to get a CDL, right?
Yeah.
Then in California, what a lot of people don't know is that California just passed a law. I can't remember what it's called right now, but they just passed a law to where owner-operators can't operate as owner-operators anymore.
Right.
And that business just started booming.
Right.
You see? So they messing with the supply chain on purpose. Now, the dude said this is a solution to the supply chain. He said if we really want, this is what he said, quote, if you really want to side the supply chain, we cannot have drivers.
There you go.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
So, Job, if you part of the system, this is how this thing works. Job, you part of the system, I'm part of the system, and Safi, you part of the system too, right? Because it got to go through chains. This is how it works. Right. Job just came up with a new technology. Hey, I done created a truck that could drive itself, right? And so he knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that can get some stuff happening. Well, okay, so this is what we gonna do. We gonna start slowing the trucks down. And then we gonna, because the media works for us, right? Oh man, I got a video. I don't know if you guys seen that video. I put it in our email, man. Okay. How the media works for the government. So we gonna tell the media, this is what you report, that we got a shortage of truck drivers. Right. And we gonna tell the ports, don't take no vessels in. Just leave them out there in the water. Just leave them. Now, when you bring them in, we gonna report that we got all of this product on the ports, but we ain't got no truck drivers to pick them up. You see these games that they play? Mm-hmm. And we doing all of this so Ayob can sell his truck that he done created.
Right. Because we all done invested a little bit of money into the trucks that I can. Bro, it's what a tangle.
Yeah, so now we need to push it as a need. Right. So we're gonna say, hey, we need this, we need that, we need that. We shortage of this. What can we bring in?
Right.
There you go. These are so when that truck get made, don't you know that companies are going to go ham and buying those trucks? Because you telling me now I can buy trucks and don't have to hire drivers, right? Now, you going to come out big on buying the truck. Don't get me wrong. But man, look at how much money you going to save by not having to pay somebody every week to drive that truck.
Plus, I ain't got to worry about
all the money comes straight to you.
I ain't got to worry about you calling out. I ain't got to worry about you falling asleep.
I ain't got to worry about you leaving my truck stranded.
Right. I ain't got to worry about you getting hired and in 2 weeks leaving, saying you starting your own trucking company. As an owner operator, I ain't got to worry about any of that.
I ain't got to worry about none of that. Hey, matter of fact, I can dispatch my trucks out from my house while I'm sipping coffee in the morning.
With my made in China coffee.
With my made in China coffee. Look here, man.
This stuff is crazy. And it's going down quickly. It's speeding up.
Imagine a self-driving 18-wheeler now. This the thing. If they talking about this now, they saying that in a couple of years, man, these trucks are already made.
I tell you, I see more of the cars than I see of the truck, though.
These trucks are already, the cars are there. So I seen a dude just other day reading a book driving a Tesla. Well, the Tesla was driving him, should I say.
No, I'm talking about like the same way. I guess the prototype of the test run, not a Tesla, but the other cars they coming out with.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been real, fellas, man. We done held the people long enough, man. Hour 25. I appreciate y'all, but look, man, America know what they doing. To sum it all up, America know exactly what they doing. Nancy Pelosi went over there knowing, knowing full well, and it's the thing. America could have stopped her from going, but they did not even try to. Why? Because just like Ayob said, and like it was written in TRT, that America was showing that we still the baddest on the block. Yep. Now, this the thing. I watched Deion Sanders at the back end of his career. And I'm fixing to tie this into America. When Deion came into the league, by far, still to this day, Deion Sanders is probably the best corner I have ever seen play the game. Yep. I watched Deion used to bait quarterbacks and make them think that he was beat and the quarterback throw the ball, and Deion covered 20, 30 yards like it was nothing. Yeah. Right. Intercept that ball and he high stepping all the way back to the end zone.
All the way back.
He was not called prime time for nothing. Deion earned the reputation to be called prime time, and he was. So now we looking at the back end of Deion's career when he was with Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. Because of all the body of work that Deion did when he was prime time, quarterbacks sit back there and knowing he over there, they would not even look that man way. Right. I'm looking, I said, man, this Negro can't run like he used to run.
Like he what he used to be.
He is not if Deion looked burnt, Deion is probably burnt when he was in Baltimore. But because he was prime time, quarterbacks did not even look his way. He put a fear in quarterbacks just by stepping out on the football field. Yep. And that's why teams picked him up. Look, I know that you can't do it, but you still put a fear in quarterbacks. Yep. Your presence. Yep. That's what America is right now. America is not what they was 20 years ago.
Nope.
America is not what they was 10 years ago.
No.
So you know what America is doing? America beating their chest and hoping that somebody be afraid when they thump it.
With a messed up toe.
With a messed up toe.
Deion
can't never say he 10 toes in with you no more.
He only 8 or 9. Yeah, he can't. He can't.
Yeah, he got them cut out, didn't he? He got a couple of.
Yeah, he had to get a few of them amputated.
Yeah, get a few of them jokers amputated, man.
Yeah, man. And that's why, America beating their chest by sending a 217-year-old lady to Taiwan.
To Taiwan.
211 years old. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Look here, man. America is not who they used to be. Nope. And everybody know it. Putin done told you that America has gotten soft. And we shown that we done got soft when we put Billy Biden in the office, that probably someone right now plugged into a 240-volt socket.
He 167.
Hey,
years old.
That brother and that sister was fighting over who was gonna hit the light switch in the beginning.
Not the first commander. Not the first commander.
Yep. They that old, bro. I'm telling you.
They that old.
They that old.
They that old.
It's going.
Y'all y'all got any last?
Man, great show, a lot of information, the distractions that are going on. This is what a lot of us are being distracted from. So thank goodness that, thank the Most High that we are able to get the information, disseminate it, break it down. We got the numbers, and each of us can give it to the people, and our people receive it, and then they go spread it out. So all praises for being back home on the channel, and Yeah,
I
great
know,
show.
right?
It's going down. So
all
stay
this
vigilant.
economic. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was just gonna say, stay vigilant. Yep.
And all this economic thing, and I'll praise to that, brother. Thank you. No matter who it is, what we going through, Elon Musk can pay for it. Elon Musk can pay for all that.
That brother got more money than nations.
Issues. He could pay for all these issues along with Mark Zuckerberg. Just them two alone.
Yep. Right.
Yamaya said that they're bluffing. I don't know if she's talking about America or not. It's not so much that they're not so much that they're bluffing, Yamaya. They want it to break off. They really do want it to break off. They knew that Putin was going to tear Ukraine off the bone. That's what they wanted. And when we asked that question, who is going to benefit from it, it's the Rothschild. I was talking to Safar and Ayob about this earlier. I can't say so much that America wants to go to war, but the Rothschilds want to go to war. They want to go to war. And they are going to get what they want. I was telling Safar earlier today that they mama said, and go look this up. If my sons never wanted war, there would be no war. That's what they mama said, right? So they want the war, and they are going to fund all four sides of the war. They're going to fund Russia with what Russia needs. They're going to fund China with what China needs. They're going to fund America with what America needs. While the people are starving. And when this thing is over with, Russia is going to go borrow money from the Rothschild to rebuild. China is going to borrow money from the Rothschild to rebuild. America is going to borrow money from the Rothschild to rebuild and put the people in slavery, because now there is going to be a digital currency and they're going to be able to watch everything that you do. And if you don't agree with what they say, they're going to turn your money off like water. So yes, Yamaya, they want this thing to jump off. That's why Pelosi went over there. That's why they're threatening and messing with Taiwan, because they know that they're really pissing China off by their actions. Hey, it's so many times.
I like how she got capped at the end of that too, like they lied. Yeah.
What's that?
The line, they bluffing, they capping.
Oh yeah. They want that thing to jump off, man, because they want to put us in they want to put us in bondage. Hey, I love everybody that stayed with us all night tonight. Last Thursday of this month will be next Thursday. It's going to be a little different type of a show. Y'all come on in and check it out. But with that being said, I am Shayu Yeshub Judah. My brother, y'all got last thoughts, or did y'all already give them already? We already give them? Okay then. All right then. My bad, man. I'm old, man. That's what happened to old people, man. We forget. I'm on the verge. My kids better take care of me too. They better not put me in no nursing home.
Nah, they won't do that to you. They won't do that to y'all. They won't do that to you.
I don't know. I got two. I be looking at. I got two of them. Probably waiting on. With that, though, Yeshua Judah. This is Truth Be Told Flex Podcast. We're glad that everybody stuck with us. We'll see you this time next week.
Yeah. Shalom.
It's all unraveling. It's all unraveling. Listen, man, in case you didn't know, no. It's almost getting close. In case you didn't know.
This has been real. We would like to thank you, and we will see you at this same time next week.
Only the ones with no faith that take the vaccines. Step to me with it, I'ma make your back lean. We at the end, new Sodom and Gomorrah. Christ about to come and mop the floor up. Walking up in Louis V with your mask on. Check the me's, man, they about to get their blast on. Prophecy, interpretation, Isaiah 55:11, so it ain't no faking. Crack your dough, it's getting close. almost getting close. In case you didn't know, no, it's on Unraveling. Babylon got pregnant with a